Hello again, and welcome to another, 3v3 fastest map possible on StarCraft Brood Wars Remastered. So we're going to I was just like sort of debating. I kept like getting online and then playing. I just could not stop playing. But I really wanted to do one review before I sort of packed it in for the night. So here we are with our review. This is one from 7/7/2021. This is one that I must have posted and kept in the lockbox for another time to watch. And here we are. So in the top left corner, we've got Rodrigo353, the yellow Protoss. This is a very Protoss heavy game. Wan Chu is over here in the right top corner. And then also on their team in the bottom left corner is the lone Zerg and the lone not Protoss in the game, Layuka. So it looks like it might be like a Spanish game. Rodrigo, Juan, and Layuka. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but it seems like it might be. Alright, so the other team, we've got down here in the bottom right corner, the pale blue is Versus. On his team is Jagogo, the orange Protoss. And then also on their team is this guy over here, the white Protoss, Guglala. Guglala. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a quick APM check. You see Layuka is up here around 200. Gulala, the white Protoss, let's say, is well above 300. And then over here, the orange Protoss, Jagogo, is 180. Everyone else is fairly low, particularly this guy over here at only 20-something, but it doesn't always necessarily mean something early on, but it's always something to look at. Usually those are the players that are just sort of thinking a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and see what we've got so far. Not seeing any cannon rushes. The Zerg is just sort of macroing up. They're playing a little bit greedy. Let's see if that gets punished. Okay, over here we've got the early gateways. 4 early gateways here. This guy's he's going to build a bunch of them. 3 early gateways here with some zealots. 3 early gateways here. And 1 gateway here. This guy playing a little bit more economical to start. Getting gas first. Alright, so white's moving out. You see these APMs, 3 people above 100. Alright, so white and orange seem to be moving in on Olive. We'll see how Olive holds. He's building some cannons. He's got a few. He's moving in. Kind of hard to see who's who. There's some way you can see like who's what team. Alright, so they do clear. Uh-oh, this is not good. So Olive does sort of clear the initial zealots, but they come up and destroy the cannons that he had. And those are the only cannons that he did have. Now yellow, sending some reinforcements just in case. Orange. Yeah, I think they just wanted that initial, like, hey, we're here. So we're at 4 minutes, so this is just right around the time. We'll speed up just a little bit. Especially in a game where everyone is the same race, upgrades are going to be absolutely huge. So we'll see who ends up making the upgrades right now. Over here, Zerg is just been able to be untouched. Really surprised by that. Alright, so white's coming up. Oh, they're like, oh, yellow's here to help. They're still pressing this a little bit, but oh man, this is just a giant zealot battle. Alright, so we'll slow down to watch this. But of course, you can not tell who anyone is. That's something that some of the streamers that I watch complain about, is they they have a toggle where you can go from red and blue, so you can see actually like the different teams and everything. Usually I don't have a problem with it, but this is really hard with all Protoss. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Alright, so Olive and Yellow have got a pretty good army of zealots. White's starting to get some dragoons. Blue doesn't really have anything yet. I don't know what he's trying to do. He looks like he might be trying to do some drops. Okay, so he's got some Reavers going. Let's keep our eyes on him. Alright, here's Teal, continuing to be untouched. Continuing to build. White's building up. Alright, we'll just do a little bit of a speed up here. White's getting everything going. A lot of zealots. Orange getting things going. They're looking like they're getting ready to drop. So people are getting ready to do some drops here. So we'll see who's successful in doing it. Alright, so here comes blue. We'll try to keep an eye on all the different ones that are happening. Alright, so we'll follow this guy for the moment. Alright, so we do see an attack by Olive. Now, without the upgrades, alright, so this is where we see the upgrades. Right, we see Psystorm coming in from Orange. We see Speed Boots coming in from Blue. We see all the upgrades coming in from Teal. Olive and Yellow are the ones that we don't really see upgrades coming in yet. I'd really love to see that. Alright, so Blue's continuing. I don't know if they're just bringing Reavers out. This has just been sitting there forever. Alright, this guy's getting ready to send a drop as well. So are they going to try to do it together? That's cute. Little friends doing a drop together over there in the corner. Alright, so we're waiting for something to happen. Nothing else is happening on the map. This is about a 30-minute game, so we'll go ahead and wait for them to be brave. Alright, so finally Orange decides to be the brave one. Blue decides to come in behind him. Alright, he does... Oh, nice! Alright, he does just enough. Oh, and then here comes Blue just to sort of clean up afterwards. Alright, so they should be easily able to clean up what Blue's doing, and he just decides to leave because the damage has been done. But Orange with a really, really nice job of getting that Psystorm off. Taking out all of the probes, so that's going to put that guy behind. Yellow's getting prepared for that. This guy was pretty well prepared for it as well, but you got to block up that area. But even still, you can come in this way. Alright, Blue's sort of flying around. I think sort of Orange did the damage. I don't really think Blue needs to continue fooling around with this. Now they're just sort of bringing Reavers up to the front. He is building stuff here. Alright, so here comes Teal. Teal's got lurkers. Teal's just been able to sit here and build. I mean, that is not what I want to do if I'm on the other team. The APMs have sort of fallen. Orange still is the top APM, or is the top APM at the moment. Let's see if he decides to get another drop in, or if he decides to go somewhere else. Alright, so here are two Templar in here. Teal has kind of moved to the middle. They're kind of taking over the middle. He's got 1-1s. Alright, Blue's sort of flying around still. Alright, so... Ooh, did he take off somewhere and I missed it? Or are these guys still... Nope. It's still there. Alright, so he's still waiting. Alright, so... Here goes Teal. Teal's attacking White. White's got a lot of Dragoons. Oh, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bait Orange to come out. Orange can't do anything because of the lurkers. I don't think he has an observatory, so he's not going to be able to do anything about that. Alright, so White is able to hold that choke point with its Dragoons. So that's good. But Teal's going to be able to just get this going again really easily. He's got lurkers blocking destruction. Alright, so White's like, I'm going to counterattack this guy. Might be an interesting play here. Alright. Orange. Is he trying to do some kind of fancy drop of some kind? I don't know. Anyways, alright, so here are the lurkers to try to stop these Dragoons from moving forward. Dragoons are just destroying the Hydralisks. Oh my gosh. Here come the Zealots to try to help out. Man, White kind of got some help here. Oh, White's actually pushing through these lurkers. These might be too much lurkers for him to be able to do that. Yeah, so he's pushing through. He is getting some damage done on the... Ooh, he's trying to move through to the main base. There are a few Sunkens. He's moving the lurkers back, but now they're exposed. Oh, here comes a drop. Here comes a... Oh, the Reaver drop comes in to help. Oh my goodness, what a huge play. Wow, so they kind of overwhelmed Teal. Teal got a little big for his britches there. Oh, Teal's going to have to figure out what to do. Alright, so while that's happening, Yellow's like, I'm going to attack White. White does get the main base, so that's going to really slow down Teal. Yellow's got 1-1s. He's going to move in. This guy's trying to move in with his lurkers. He can't even do it. This guy's getting ready for another big drop. I don't know if Orange never did a drop. I was watching for a while to see if he's going to do something. All right, so Yellow is slowly but steadily pushing in on this. Oh, and Teal, get the lurkers right there. Oh my goodness. Now that's going to do a lot of damage to Yellow, unfortunately. All right, so he does have the cannons as well. So White will probably hold here. Nice job by White. Alright, so now here comes Orange, who's finally got him some observers. So all these lurkers are starting to get taken out. Orange is like, I'm going to come in and make sure that you're okay. Oh, these lurkers are just destroying. He doesn't have an observer. And this is unpowered. Oh, these are unpowered now. Alright, so here comes Yellow with reinforcements. These lurkers are really doing some damage to White. He doesn't have any detectors to do anything. Teal's bringing up more lurkers. He is sort of getting himself going again. This guy's getting ready. I don't know if they continued to storm this guy. They must have. I mean, I'm sure there's some drops and some cheeky shit going on behind us, but this is the real battle. It's really interesting. They still can't seem to get these last few lurkers. Now it's a battle of who's just going to get the better upgrades. You see tons of upgrades going on. Alright. Teal's just going to have such a hard time like pumping out their units like they want to. Alright, so this guy's got units now. I think they've just been harassing him non-stop. Blue has got some just massive Reaver drop getting ready to come in. White is just sort of moving along with all of his gateways. I like this sort of the way he built this because it has some holes in the middle for people to get out. He's continuing to make sure he's not going to get ready for drops or get dropped on. Alright, so they got some more lurkers. They're finally taking those out. Yellow's moving to the middle. Teal's macroing back up. He might be going for Guardians now. Olive is just sort of... I think they're so shell-shocked from earlier on that they're not really doing anything. Alright, Orange is looking for some kind of crazy drop. Is he going to do a drop with Blue? Blue's got all of these... I mean, it's just massive. Like, what are you waiting for? The end of the game? Alright. So there's a big exchange that's going to happen here, but down here, sneaky Mr. Orange. We're going to watch this come in. It's seen. There are lurkers. There's lurker support there. Alright. He gets the storm off. Oh, yeah, and he got him. I couldn't really see where the Templar were, but even with all those lurkers there, man, they come in and they do their job. Alright, so now Blue's just sort of sitting here with this giant drop, again, with nothing to do. He really should just abandon the drop and just start making units. I don't know why. He's just wasting so much time with these Reavers. Just doing nothing. Okay, so Yellow's continuing to try to move in on White. But now orange is here. Alright, olive moves out now. His units... He has plasma shield upgrades, but no attack upgrades. He doesn't have nearly enough. He's really far behind. He's not going to be able to do anything. Alright. I really feel like white and orange should move out right now. Oh, here come the Guardians. I was like, where are they going? And here come these Guardians. Oh, huge play to bring those to the game. Took out all of those cannons. All these Dragoons are coming to try to clean them up. There's a lot of them. They're going to take a lot of damage. It's going to take a lot of Dragoons to make sure that this is taken care of. Alright, there go the Corsairs. Alright, he backs off with the last ones he has. But that does sort of like take a shift. It gives olive and it gives yellow a chance to sort of breathe. Man. This guy's really the only reason why they're still in the game. Alright, here comes blue. He's just got some air units. Alright, now here comes his massive Reaver drop. He doesn't even have upgrades on his ships, but he just wanted to drop so bad. Look at how slow those shuttles are coming in. Alright, so he drops them. I don't think there's any detection. So he does this drop that's sort of like out of our view. He's got some scouts to help him. I mean, I guess it's sort of helpful, but this guy was already so wounded. And now white's coming in to sort of finish the job. Liuka, you gotta give credit to him. He played pretty well. That drop, that push that white had earlier on really sort of with the drop kind of helped seal the deal. So that guy's done. Wow, okay. Alright, so Olive now, he's starting to get a lot of gateways. He's starting to spill out units. He's trying to fight to get the middle. Now it's a 2-on-1. So we'll kind of speed this up a little bit just because I'm wondering how this game could possibly be much longer. Alright, so yellow moving in on white. Here comes orange to try to help, to try to shut it down. It's just a giant Dragoon fest. Alright, here comes some Zealots to try to break that up. Let's see how the Zealots do. Alright, they're coming in. Yeah, just mixing in a few Zealots really makes a big difference. Alright, so yellow. Yellow's got all these gateways over here now, too. Oh my goodness. So he is just pumping out units like it's no tomorrow. Olive, he's pumping out a lot of units as well. Alright, so now they're trying to push in on orange. Orange had all these drops sort of prepared. He's trying to do an Archon drop? I mean, what is he doing? These guys were trying to be a little too cute with the drops. I understand drops are a cool thing. Looks like you had some good plans, but like, at some point you got to read what's going on and just realize that that's not what's going to be best right now. Alright, so olive and yellow pushing in on orange. Orange continuing, even though they have things in these dropships, he's doing nothing. Blue over here with a bunch of dropships, empty, or dropships full of Reavers. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. While they're trying to set up this like massive super drop, like they're getting like attacked non-stop by yellow and olive. Look at the way he's just streaming units out. Yellow now with full upgrades. Alright, you see orange moving out with all these shuttles. All these shuttles for blue. Alright, here's blue dropping on olive. So he finally does this big drop, but honestly, with a little bit of help from yellow, he might be able to clean this up. Alright, so they're pushing in on this drop. This is really going to stop the assault on orange. In the meantime, white's just sitting here. They've been able to resurface. They're at full upgrades. Alright, he finally does the drop with all these Archons. Wow. So those drops happened just in time, but they weren't really all that... I mean, just sort of being too cute. Just being too cute. You know? Dropping the ball, if you will. Alright, so here comes White in to kind of kill Olive. I can't imagine this is too much longer after this. I don't think I've ever seen so many Dragoons in a game, my goodness. Alright, all these Corsairs. They did end up taking out all the Reavers. Oh, he's got Dark Templar now coming in. I don't think this guy has any kind of detection, so these Templar just absolutely just dominated. Oh my goodness. These guys are really, really relentless. Yellow and Olive really fighting hard. Alright, so he does the Archon drop right on top of the Dragoons. It's not really working all that well. He even throws a Storm that doesn't work that well. Destroys everything. He's pushing in on Orange. Unfortunately, at the same time, White finds what Yellow is doing. We're going to take out those extra gateways. Olive just trying to sort of reset after that big attack on them earlier. He's got Dark Templar. Looks like there's some, yeah. I think it's just a little bit too much now, being 2-on-1. Alright, so White's continuing to push in on this guy. Orange is going to try to have to reset after that. I mean, they're sort of almost fooling around at this point. Like, I feel like they should already have won. And they're just allowing these guys to sort of hang in. Alright, White continuing to sort of fight this. Yellow fighting his way out, not giving up. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. Alright, so they finally are streaming in all the guys that they can. White and Orange together. Finally taking down Yellow with Yellow's secondary base. Alright, so now Olive's coming. Olive and Yellow not going to give this base up without a fight. Here they come. Alright, so they're streaming in units. At this point, everyone's upgraded to the gills. It's all about sort of just mixing and matching. White pushing in here. We've got Arbiters. I know this guy's trying to do some big Arbiter play. This guy's just been untouched all game and he's done nothing with it. He's just sat around. He's just playing. Alright, here he goes. Poor Olive, who's just trying to hang in there. He's fighting off. He's trying to fight up to his partner. Here comes this big Arbiter recall. Is he going to do it? Alright, yep, he finally does it right up in the corner. And that's probably game, yeah. Rodriguez knows it's game. Juan knows it's game. And that is game. Not a bad game. All Protoss. Sometimes that's what happens. And the Zerg did a pretty good effort to try to be the difference maker. But you can see that they struggled with that. The drops and the other shenanigans that were going on. But those were pretty unimpressive drops, but they were enough at the time to make it happen. And again, the team with the... Actually, I think this was the team with the higher APM that ended up losing. This guy had a high APM the whole game, this guy in White. White was very good in terms of getting his macro up. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. I just wanted to squeeze one in before I went to bed, but I will be working to try to get some more in coming up in the next few weeks. So thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.